Just came out of Long's. I think I made the manager think I'm some kind of white supremacist or something now. Because like the other day, I didn't do anything. I just asked about an incident there the other day, and he seemed equally parts scared and upset that I brought it up. Like, I was in there, and I'm standing in an aisle looking for something. I hear the screaming. Ah, yeah! I sound like a woman. I thought it was a lady. Then I look over, like down the aisle, I come over so I can kind of line up. And over by the prescription pickup area is this black dude screaming like he's been shot. I thought someone got in a fight or stabbed or something. And then I start walking over toward there. In the middle of the store, there's this escalator area, and you gotta like go around it. So I was kind of on the other side of the store, and this guy, I thought someone for sure was being murdered, you know. And then I start listening, and I can hear what he's saying. He's going screaming his ass off about white people. All these, like, if there was a white equivalent of the N-word, this guy would have been throwing it. He was losing his mind. I didn't, you know, I thought for sure it was like a fight or something. And I go over there, and he's like, I'll get closer to it. Of course, I'm at the fucking opposite end of the whole place. I just wanted to see what was happening, you know. It's not that I'm nosy, although I can be, like a lot of people. I'm not a big rubbernecker, but in this case, there's a black man screaming like he's been shot. So I'm like, what the fuck happened, you know? So he's yelling at this old man, this old white guy with a dog. He's got like this little dog in his cane. And this guy's like losing his mind on this guy. And, you know, I know he didn't say the N-word, the old man, because I could pick up through the back and forth that he didn't say it because he was telling him to call him. You just want to call me? So he goes in about he was just crazy. It was like, you mayonnaise motherfuckers, you won't run another thing here. White people don't want to sit here and why you think you do. Just going on and on about how white people it is, white people that. Now meanwhile, no one's doing anything. Everybody's just staring at the ground like, and he's threatening to kill this old man. It was fucking mental. It was fucking mental. I've never seen anything like that in a store. Like that before. Really unusual. I mean, I get balance your store and started doing that. And I know the old thing, like, well, if that was me. But no, I'm using it because in this case, imagine going into a Long's and screaming racial epithets at an old black man. I would have been tackled, dragged out of there, arrested, probably beaten on the way to jail, and I'll be put in jail. I'd have to get bonded out. Or maybe they wouldn't even, like, allow that. It'd be like a hate crime, all this kind of shit. I would be in serious fucking trouble. So, but that's exactly what he's doing to this old man with a dog and a cane. Did he have a cane? Maybe he just had a dog. He was a little old man. And the guy's screaming about, I'm a veteran, I fought for this country, and you white people don't never care. But you run nothing in Hawaii. White people don't run anything. They don't run shit here. I've heard this before too. I've seen this on tourist blogs, like black people saying they like it here because the white man isn't in charge. I don't know where this comes from or what it means, but they're not in charge anywhere. There are people who are in charge of everything and their skin is white, but they're not white people. They run shit. But one of their favorite tricks is to get us slaves to fight each other. You know, people of different races to fight each other. So that's what's going on there. So By the time I finally made my way over there, he was in a chair. He was sitting down, like in a waiting area where you can get your drugs and stuff, your prescriptions. And the manager, who's a cool guy, he always hooks me up with Hot Wheels. You know, when the new ones come in, he'll let me check them out first, see if I need anything. And he was kind of talking to him, you know, like a teacher talking like a child. Like, come on, okay, you okay? Asking him if he's okay. Asking him if he's okay. Meanwhile, no one's saying anything about the old man. I don't know what he did. But from what I've seen here and the situations I've been in myself, it wouldn't take too much. It could just be something he perceived. A perceived slight. Maybe he cut in front of him. It's something. I think what happened is whatever the argument was about, it wasn't a racial argument. I think the guy he had got mad at the old man and then started going off on white people. So I come to the area and I go to the manager. I'm like, hey, is everything okay here? He's like, yeah, everything's fine. And he starts asking me about Hot Wheels. I think he didn't want to be in that situation. No one does. I was like, shit, man, if this guy attacked that old man, who the fuck would have came to his defense? I would have had to, you know, which is, I don't want to do that shit, but, you know, sometimes there's no one else there was going to. You know, I'm not going to let this guy murder this old man. I can't. I know it sucks to be the white guy sometimes, but, you know, this is one of those instances where it's like, well, I guess it fucking falls to me. This is how it is. So, and people expect the white guys to do that. They somehow become the unofficial dad of the world. I don't like it because I'm not, I don't have a lot of authoritarian sort of, well, not authoritarian, but I'm not someone who is really good at beating down the nonsense. Like, all right, everybody. But it was a lot of old people, a lot of diversity, and me. So it was like, fuck, man. You know? So anyway, when I get over there, everything had like kind of calmed down. He's still sitting in the chair yelling at him. And then the old white man's saying to him, he's like, you're racist. He goes, I can't be racist. It's like he was regurgitating all these like talking points for hating white people, kind of talking, but like everything they say, mayonnaise, motherfuckers. Like if he had an N-bomb equivalent, he'd be dropping it one after another, screaming, like a lot of estrogen in that guy. You know, that's a thing, but you know, he'd probably make a good R&B singer. You know, that's a lot of them are. So yeah, I just wander away, go about doing what I'm doing. And then a little while later, he's still in the store. No one's trying to take him out of there. Like I can't really get it across how insane and disruptive this was. I heard it all the way on the other side of the store. He was screaming like it was fucking madness. I'm not doing it any justice. I've never seen anything like that before in a public place, maybe. Not like that. It was just this racist tirade. So the little old man, he's walking away, and he kept saying like, "Well, God, you want to just say I'm a nigger?" He's like, "You're acting like one." So I know he wasn't dropping N-bombs because he was avoiding doing that, and the black guy was egging him on to do so, and screaming he's a veteran. But then he's going to kill the old, he's going to, forget how he put it, what he's going to do to the old man. He's going to do this, he's going to attack him or whatever. Threatening to hurt him, assault him. So I go back to doing what I'm doing. Just walking around. And I see this dude on the apology tour. Like, he went from being the aggressor to the victim, like boom, boom, like a switch was thrown. And he's walking around talking to people who were in the area when the whole thing went down. He's like, well, you gotta understand, it's not all white people, but white people need to understand. And I'm like, okay. And people are that he's talking to are just like, it's okay, yeah, it's okay. Fucking bunch of cocks. They're just like, it's all right, yeah, it's all right. So, yeah, there was no resistance at all from anyone. It was just fear and silence. And it fucking made me ill. Fucking makes me sick. Like they let that happen. It's fucked up. So, anyway, I leave, go downstairs, and as I'm downstairs, he starts at him again as he's leaving. You know, again, after he just went on his apology tour. So he's going from aggressor to victim to aggressor to victim. He's just throwing the switch, you know. Just what a disgusting fucking dude, you know. Awful. So I'm like, I wonder what it was that triggered him. Now, again, it could be fucking anything to make this happen. And the reason is because, I mean, he's probably bombarded every day, through media, social media, with this idea that his problems are all caused by that old man. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for the old man there, he would be a lawyer and a doctor. It's kind of not their fault. Well, I mean, it is. But someone is whispering in their ear in the form of mass media, social media. You would be a king if it wasn't for these white people. You know, that all day he's getting this, you know. So it felt like this was just all built up in him, which it always is, because it's like there's a tension there. When I first moved here, right? I moved here in 2016, and I remember I'd see this kind of thing a lot, and I'd feel this kind of stuff, and I have stories like that I was involved in, not doing anything, just doing something that upset people, and they would go right to, like, you know, just for an example, I was at an outdoor market, and there's all these fruit things, like these fruit containers, and I eat a lot of watermelon, so they had watermelon there, and this is 100% true. I'm not using this for the story, but so there's a woman standing there, a diverse woman, and she's just staring at them and taking up the whole area. She's a little on the bigger side, so I'm like, all right, I just want to get one and go, but you know, I wait for her just to be courteous or whatever. So she starts to sense that I'm sort of lingering and I want to get in that area. So she sees this and starts going like, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, she's really doing this? You know, like, she's trying to stall now because she knows I'm trying to get in there. So after a little bit of this, I finally just say, I gotta get one. So I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, I'm just gonna take one of these. And I reach in front of her to grab one. And she's like, excuse you? I guess some people feel like they don't have to wait. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, really? So I didn't say anything. I just paid for my fucking watermelon and got the fuck out of there. I've learned to kind of avoid those kind of situations. Like if I had known she was there before I came upon that stand, I wouldn't even went for it. I would have just kept walking. But then you're kind of locked into it. You know what I mean? Like because now I'm like, well, if I just walk away, now is that going to be ever? You can't do anything right. You know what I mean? Being there, you're a racist. Trying to leave because you don't want to be called racist, you're racist for that. There's no winning. You know, it's just like white flight is racist, but gentrification's also racist. So you're kind of like, what the fuck do I do here? Elevators are very tense. Like, there's this weird tension. And I remember saying to people like, wow, yeah, black people here are really crazy about, they're really like, they're on the edge. And then a couple years later, I kind of put it together in my head because sometimes it takes me that long. And I'm like, oh, it's not Hawaii. 2016 was when things kind of made that shift. Like the BLM stuff happened. And that was the second part of it, of how they activated the golems. It's actually started in 2008. But anyway, and I'm like, oh, this is probably happening everywhere. Everywhere. Like, if not for this dude, I would be a Wall Street broker. But because he exists, I'm in the situation I'm in, you know? So it's like, all right, whatever. So that was something that was just happening in the country. I thought it was just here. But, so anyway, I was wondering what the guy did, just out of curiosity. So I go in there, and the manager's there, right? And I'm like, hey, what happened the other day with that guy? He goes, what guy? And I'm like, the black guy, the guy that was going crazy. As soon as I said black guy, like, he got nervous. He got nervous and kind of annoyed, and it felt like he was sort of mad at me for bringing it up. I'm like, yeah, what did the guy do? Did he drop the N-bomb on or something? And he was just like, I don't know what happened. I don't know anything about, like, yeah, I don't know. It was just something that I'm like, I'm telling you though, man, if that was me, I would have been thrown on the ground and dragged out of here. Cops would have been called. And he just was staring at me, like, silently disagreeing. So I'm like, wow, this guy probably thinks I'm like some kind of fucking, but that's how this works. That's how they have it now. You know, and when I'm talking about they, echo, 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 you know, this is all orchestrated, set up this way. So this guy was doing the gaslight. He was so scared that I brought this up and low-key upset with me. And like, talk about losing respect for a person and like, hey, how you doing? Not bad. How's Max doing? Good?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Yeah.
Nice hair.
Oh, thank you. Have a good day. So he's just like gaslighting me about it, like I'm crazy for bringing this up, you know. And that's fucked. That's the problem now. That's the problem. People are so scared. I'm telling you though, if anyone, almost anybody threw a fit like that, threatening to kill someone, and causing that kind of level of disturbance, they would have called security. No one's calling security on this guy. No one. And then they allowed him to go around and do his fake apology tour to everybody in the store, and then fight with the guy again on the way out. There's a couple things here. One is just plain fear, you know, for whatever reason. And the other one is the fear of saying something to this guy because they don't want to look like a certain kind of person or do a certain kind of thing or be called a certain kind of thing. I would almost bet that if he started attacking that old man, they would wait a little bit before they jumped in to get him off. And even then, they would pull the old man away before they'd lay a finger on this guy. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. I wasn't going to talk about it again. Because the first few times I started talking about it, I couldn't use them. I decided that the video was unusable. Because I end up in the same place where I had to debunk the North Atlantic slave trade. And it's weird because that same night, I saw a couple other guys doing exactly that on the internet. And one of them was kind of like a mainstream type of dude. Oh, it was fucking there's two examples. One was Don Lemon. He was talking to some British politician. And they're talking about the Queen's death. And Don Lemon was going on about, well, you know, the Queen, you know, there are people that don't have that kind of money, and there are people that are crying out for reparations. People think that, you know, and they're spending all this money, and people need reparations. And the woman goes, yeah, I agree. she said, I think what they need to do is trace the problem back to its origins and get reparations of those people, the African tribes that enslaved the people, that they then sold to, the seafaring people who are going to pick them up. This echo, 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 seafaring people, echo, echo, echo. And she was like, and then you should give reparations to all the British soldiers who died to free them. And he just like stares at her like, he didn't know what the fuck to do. It was hilarious. He doesn't know any of this stuff because, he's a fucking retard. But, and then there was something else that I watched right after. It's almost like things telling me, you can say that. You can talk about that. It's fine. Who the fuck was it, though, after that brought up the idea that it was all a farce? And it absolutely was. They were brought here for sure. These people that do these multi-generational plans, it's another whole story about how they make these multi-generational plans work. Usually a guy or a man, a mortal, especially these kind of creeps, are not going to grow a tree for future generations. They want to do stuff that they see in their lifetime. And I've done videos about how this works, so it's pretty much settled science. But yeah, they're able to make these multi-generational plans. So there's a concept in Yiddish folklore called the golem. The golem is a sort of a empty robot kind of monster thing that through Yiddish magic is activated to do the dirty work of its masters, of the people who control the golems. Because people that create and control the golems, they're very meek. They have a lot of problems from interbreeding, not very strong, very cowardly. So they have the golem fight for them. So they create golems. And golems can be, it goes across, it spans races. I mean, as awful as to say, whatever, it's reality. It's just a don't shoot the messenger thing. A lot of the U.S. military, or U.S. military as a concept, is really golems because they're fighting and they're dying for the golem master. They want to control as the golems. So these people were put here to, just like the 7-Eleven was an inside job, those things were built for the express purpose of coming down. They were going to come down at a certain point as part of a ritual and a spell. In the same way, they have weaponized certain people in society to destroy, tear down. When you have people that are just incompatible, like that's the thing. Hold on, I gotta light this fucking thing because look at this lighter, by the way. You'd think like $5 would work, but it doesn't. I'm so sorry. Motherfucker. Okay, if you're still here, hang on. This is crazy. Crazy time right now. Alright, so sorry guys. So, when you have two groups of people that are very different, and you get them together to live together, there's going to be disharmony. The whole idea of the melting pot. Anyone who would want to advocate for a melting pot for you to live in is your enemy, you know? There is no bonus to that. How is there a bonus to having my neighbor have a completely different culture, understanding of the world, morality, and even up to a different language? How is that a strength? You know, it's not. It's not. You know, and most people want to be with their own. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. You're not going to find an Asian guy that's like, you know what, I want to live with Latinos. And you won't find a black guy that's going to be like, you know what, I want to live with whatever, Eskimos. You're not going to find that. The melting pot idea is It's bullshit. Your enemy would do that. Yet the same person that would put a statue in a harbor of your main fucking city that says, give me the worst people from your fucking country. And it's the same guys that do both of these things. So, you know, when you build a society on this kind of idea, it's just going to create disharmony and it's going to come apart. At some point, you activate the golem or golems, and then they serve their purpose. And that's kind of what's been going on in the country for a while. I'm so mad at this fucking lighter. You don't even understand. Alright, well this whole thing's fucking ruined because of this piece of shit. Goodbye. Oh, I can't leave it. I gotta lift you. Fuck. Now I'm acting like them. This is garbage though. Like, I'm gonna destroy this somehow. I mean, $5 for fucking thing? Don't blame the teacher. Oh, there we go. Yay! Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.